The system is failing. We're going to have more homelessness, more unemployment, and the government has to print more money. It's a command and control economy where the government tells you everything. I just don't trust our government. And they're going to have to start printing pretty quickly. And the more they print, the less value, purchasing power the dollar has, or the loonie, or the yen, or the peso. People are talking about inflation. I think we're in depression right now, and we're going to be the biggest depression in world history.
In the 1970s, that's when the world was changing.
The biggest bust in the history of the world is coming up. It's pensions. They trusted the government. They trusted their pension would be there, and it's going to go bust. And that's us. We'd get crushed.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today, as oh my goodness, I have just witnessed crypto history. The past couple days have been surreal for me as a crypto investor witnessing what has occurred. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a lot of people constantly in my ear saying, Bull, what happened? We didn't go to the moon yet. And my answer has consistently been, my friend, did you just witness what happened? Ethereum merged perfectly to proof of stake without a hiccup, without a delay. And that's massive for the entire industry. That brings credibility. The ETH supply shock will be occurring slowly but surely. Nobody said we were going to the moon the day of the merge. But the merge will be a catalyst for massive price action in Ethereum. Mark my words, that'll bring more money overall to the crypto industry. And that's going to cause all of our bags to rise, especially XRP. Ladies and gentlemen, I think a lot of you know that XRP over the past day has been upwards of double-digit percentages. That is real. It's so real that all of you have been very excited recently. First and foremost, we have to remember that from Watcher Guru, the White House stated a US CBDC has potential to offer significant benefits. All of this while FedNow has been coming to the forefront of the financial payments industry in the US. Remember, FedNow has connections to Volante. They have connections to Finastra. They have connections to Temenos. The reason I bring this up is because there are Ripple connections deep within this eventual launch. And I think with this case winding down, we need to be paying extremely close attention to these narratives. My friends, all of you know that over the past couple days we've been seeing the US Congress be extremely vocal about crypto regulations. Gary Gensler vocal on his stance as well. A United States executive order has come to the forefront, all while the ETH merge occurred. This was posted by Library. It's time for Ether, Ripple, and Library armies to join forces. Ether's new merge to proof of stake has drawn SEC attention, and they're going to try and call Ethereum a security, and this is when the crypto industry stands against the SEC as a whole. Crypto hates XRP, but they love Ethereum. Us as people, we will rise against the stifling regulation Gary is trying to impose. And as an industry, we will rise to the forefront and be written about in history as revolutionaries. You see, Patrick Toomey, a congressman that's pro-crypto, had very harsh words about Gary Gensler and what he thinks about him. And I think the American people as well, especially crypto investors, are watching closely heading into elections. Ladies and gentlemen, these midterm elections are going to be so powerful for legislation trying to be passed right now, and also legislation about to be passed afterwards. I anticipate a shift in political power, and with that shift will bring a more positive crypto environment. Now, please listen to this brief clip by Patrick Toomey discussing exactly what our sentiment has been for a while.
Stepping back, I think there's a larger problem here. As Bloomberg columnist Matt Levine put it, and I quote, Chairman Gensler's posture is that he should be in charge of writing the rules for crypto, but not write them. I just don't see how that can work, end quote.
So I think the problem is that the SEC isn't sharing with us the framework that they're using. Gary Gensler famously argues that virtually all crypto tokens are securities. I think reasonable people can disagree with that. He would exempt Bitcoin from that classification, but pretty much everything else he says is a security. But then he doesn't go on to say how we would apply the existing frameworks that we use to regulate securities issuance and trading to a very, very new and very different technology where some of these things don't fit, right? Custody rules, clearance rules, these things don't have any application. And he hasn't provided any clarity on that. I think actually Congress should step in and provide some guidance. I think crypto is sufficiently different, even if you want to argue that these tokens are securities. You go ahead and make the argument, but you can't dispute that they're very different from a stock or a bond, and therefore Congress ought to step in and provide a framework. I'm working on that. That's going to be really hard to get done. In the meantime, Chairman Gensler owes us much more clarity on how and why he intends to apply SEC regulations.
Now, guys, that was absolutely massive. Toomey calls out Gary Gensler, while at the same time saying they're working on framework. Congress has fired warning shots that crypto is on their radar. The White House has fired warning shots stating exactly what they expect coming and what they're trying to enforce. The White House is promoting climate-friendly cryptos. The White House is promoting cross-border payments. Ladies and gentlemen, the perfect storm for our utility tokens are here. And actually, guys, because of this executive order, I have one crypto that I'm naming in my Udemy course down in the description below. That will be lecture 165. And this crypto I FOMO'd into earlier today. Due to this executive order specifically, I believe this is a bull run warning. One of those tokens that will absolutely thrive into the future and beyond. It's at a great entry point right now, and you don't want to miss this one. And guys, some additional reasoning for why I'm so bullish on the crypto market is because I believe the stock market isn't going to collapse yet. There was a warning. They were stating Congress should figure out and bring a proposal to try and ban stocks by September 30th. That was getting me nervous. But here, state Democrats have reportedly delayed a vote on legislation to ban members of Congress from trading stocks until after the midterm elections. This extends timelines backwards. And it actually gives crypto and stocks the room to run. Remember, over the past week, I've been posting clips from Raoul Pal stating he believes risk on assets are about to thrive. We just had a massive merge in the Ethereum community. Proof of stake is now at the forefront. We have summary judgment in this XRP case. ADA Cardano is having a hard fork. Flare Networks is going to launch their Spark tokens. This executive order just came out giving the industry a framework we're about to follow. Proof of work is gone. Remember, Chris Larson stated he wants to change the code of Bitcoin to proof of stake. And I believe he had some inside info telling him he knew this moment was coming. Proof of stake, environmentally friendly cryptos, XRP, Hedera, and many other tokens will absolutely explode because of this regulation. I personally speculate that if we are to see altcoins appreciate in value, they should start doing so now. I believe the overall market top for the stock market will come when Congress is banned from trading stocks. That's just my speculation, but it's not unfounded. Not by a bit. It is something you should always look at as a leading indicator for what the classes are about to do. Now guys, with that massive news breaking, I want to show you this clip from Ray Dalio, one of my favorite macro investors on the planet. He's written the infamous book, The Changing World Order, and it is actually the book I would highly recommend for every single one of you in this community for 2022. That book describes a lot about what's about to happen to the world. And here in this clip, he describes how you can be successful in markets as a whole and as an investor. This is what I've been preaching, and this is why I'm so bullish on the current market, even though everyone is bearish. Please take a listen.
Do the opposite of what your instincts are. If you're going to play the game, it has to be the opposite of what your instincts and the crowd says, because the market reflects the crowd. So you want to buy when no one wants to buy, and you want to sell when no one wants to sell, right?
Right.
So, and that's emotionally difficult, and probably you're not going to play that game well, because it takes a lot of resources to play the game. We spend hundreds of millions of dollars each year to try to play that game well, and it's a tough game to play well. So I would caution you about the market timing game, but I would say that if you're going to do it in the ways that are uncomfortable, because they're opposite your instincts.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very uncomfortable coming before all of you every single day telling you I'm bullish on altcoins. You guys tell me, is there any content creator out there screaming bullish on altcoins right now? I would love to meet them, because it's lonely on this side. Being a contrarian investor is difficult. Watching portfolios suffer 75 to 85% on a dip, that sucks. We've been through the worst because we're headed towards the best. Guys, we have to remember, inflation is rampant. These inflation numbers the other day crashed markets throughout the board. But this is the thing. The CPI is a delayed indicator, my friends. What am I trying to say? The inflation numbers we're beginning to see now were actually being created throughout all of 2021. Remember the money printing. Remember the stimulus. This was a self-made problem. This is the collapse of the US dollar. But somehow, someway, the DXY continues to go to the moon. Assets that go up during inflationary times are going down right now. Don't be silly. But I believe with all the news that's been coming out recently and the geopolitical events at play, crypto could finally see the relief it needs. And I hope you see why I'm saying this as well. Guys, I'm more bullish on this market than I've ever been before. And with that, I'll leave you with this. The first 100K is always the hardest. If you're over here struggling right now through the recent crypto crash, I get it. I've been there. I understand. The first 100K is the hardest. But after you get it, the million is guaranteed. All you have to do is focus. Scaling by 10 is easy. You just have to persevere through the hard times. We've already made it through the hardest times. But now I think we're all beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel. SEC decisions are about to be made with this case. Now is the most likely time it will settle. ADA hard fork, ETH merge successful. Congress push back trading ban. These are all things we need to look out for. And I think the biggest event that we all need to really be aware of is the Fed and whether or not they're going to raise interest rates aggressively or take their foot off the gas. In my opinion, there's going to be a moment when the Fed has to reverse course. As I believe, inflation's going to take over. They would rather inflate the currency than send us into a depression. That's just the fact of the matter. It's a voting cycle, my friends. That's why you have to keep that in your minds. The first 100K is tough, but you're gonna make it. I believe XRP and a couple select altcoins are gonna help you get there. And while nothing in my videos are financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor, you should still follow it anyways. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.